You're crying, you're explaining what hurts you, you're trying to connect, to repair, to bring something into the open so it can heal. And the other person? The other person goes silent. The other person withdraws, looks away, or maybe they disappear for days. So if you've ever experienced this, especially with someone you know has avoidant tendencies, you know it's one of the most painful and confusing dynamics in relationships. And that's why in today's video, we're going to explore why avoidance shut down during conflict, what's actually going on inside their nervous system, the psychology behind the behavior, and how you can navigate the situations with more clarity and self-trust. So whether you are in a relationship with an avoidant or you're recognizing some of these patterns in yourself, I'm sure that this video will help you. My name is Luna A. May, and I'm a life and attachment style coach and author of books on attachment styles, What Attachment Style Are You, and Understanding and Overcoming Anxious Attachment. And my mission is to help people decode their emotional patterns, heal from past wounds, and create relationships that are rooted in safety and depth. Okay, so let's start with what this actually looks like. You're trying to have a serious conversation with your partner. Maybe you are emotional. Maybe you are upset. You want to feel seen and heard and understood. And the avoidant partner pulls away. So they might change the subject, they might walk out of the room or stop responding to your messages. Or they might simply say something like, I can't do this right now. And they will appear cold or emotionless, but you have to know that underneath that exterior, they are just simply overwhelmed. They are flooded with sensations and thoughts they were never taught how to process. Their body is protecting them from what it sees as an emotional threat. But of course, to the person on the other side, it feels like rejection. So you feel like you are not important enough. And of course, it's incredibly triggering, especially if you have an anxious or a fearful avoidant attachment style yourself. But here is something really important. It's not always about a lack of care. In many cases, it's about their survival. It's about how their body learned to stay safe. So let's now discuss a bit more deeply what's happening internally for an avoidant person in this kind of situations. So when an avoidant person is faced with emotional conflict, their nervous system interprets this conflict as danger, even if the situation isn't hostile. So the tone of your voice, the emotion in your words, or even just the vulnerability of the moment, all of this can feel overwhelming to an avoidant person. And then their brain activates a fight, flight, freeze response. And for avoidance, the dominant response is often freeze or flee. And this isn't something they're doing consciously, of course. They're not thinking, let me shut down now and hurt you. Of course not. It's just a reflex. It's a deeply ingrained survival strategy that was formed long before they were even aware of it. And you have to know that many avoidants grew up in homes where emotions were unpredictable. So maybe their caregiver was loving one day and rejecting them the next day. Or maybe their emotional needs were consistently dismissed or minimized. And as a result of that, they learned that emotions aren't safe. They've learned that vulnerability isn't safe. And they've learned that speaking up gets them hurt. And as a result of this now, as adults, that programming kicks in. And even if they are in a healthy relationship, even if you are expressing yourself kindly, their nervous system still reads conflict or emotional intensity as something unsafe. And when their body perceives danger, of course it shuts down. So you need to understand that it's not about you. This is very important. Avoidance shutdowns are not about your worth. They are not a sign that you are too much. They are not evidence that you failed. What they actually are, they are a sign of emotional overwhelm and lack of regulation skills. And that doesn't mean it is okay, of course, but it helps you not to take it on as personal rejection. For them, caring deeply feels dangerous. For some avoidants, the more they care, the more they pull away. I know it's backwards, but in their world, distance equals safety. So when intimacy increases, so does their anxiety. So if you are starting to see how these patterns play out in someone you care, or maybe even in yourself, that awareness is already a powerful step. And if you are ready to go deeper and want support navigating these dynamics with more clarity and self trust, I'd be more happy to support you. So you'll find the link to work with me one on one in the description box below. So I encourage you to check it out. But let's now discuss how this actually feels when you're on the other side. Of course, it's heartbreaking, it's destabilizing, and it can make you question yourself. You might start overthinking, over explaining, trying to make them understand. Or you might simply go quiet yourself because you are afraid to say anything that might trigger another shutdown from this side. So you're left walking on eggshells, wondering what you can say or do to avoid the icy wall again. And if you are someone who's anxiously attached, this hits your deepest wound, the fear of abandonment. It's not just silence, it's the absence of repair. It's the feeling of being alone in the middle of emotional chaos. Let's now talk about the psychology behind the shutdown. Avoidants aren't cold-hearted. They are emotionally defended. Their behavior is often driven by subconscious belief systems like, if I will open up, I will lose control. Or if someone sees the real me, they will leave me. They might have never experienced emotional repair as a child. So when something goes wrong, they don't have a blueprint for how to fix it. That's why shutting down isn't about punishing you. It's what they know. And sometimes they genuinely don't understand the impact of their silence. What feels like a moment of calm to them, a way to cool off, might feel like emotional abandonment to you. That gap in perception is huge, of course. And it's where so much pain and miscommunication lives. So how do you actually deal with this? The first thing to do is don't try to force closeness during shutdown. When someone is in that state, their nervous system isn't capable of processing connection, no matter how hard you try. Second of all, pressure often increases their panic and deepens the distance. Instead of that, try to focus on regulating yourself. Take a breath. Guard your own nervous system first. Then, when things are calmer, gently open the door, and you might say something like, I noticed you got really quiet early. I'd love to understand what was going on for you when you were ready. This gives the avoidance space, but also invites the reflection. It doesn't excuse the shutdown, but it shows them that the connection can survive emotional honesty. And if this becomes a pattern where shutdown happen regularly and repair never follows, that's where you need to ask yourself the harder question. Is this relationship sustainable? Because your emotional safety matters too. If you are watching this and you recognize yourself as the one who shuts down, I want to speak to you directly. You are not bad. You are not broken. Your body has been trying to protect you for a long time. But the truth is, emotional safety isn't built through distance. It's built through presence, through learning to stay little by little when things get uncomfortable. You don't have to share everything all at once. You don't have to be perfect. But you can start naming what's happening. I'm feeling overwhelmed. I need a pause. I want to come back to this. I just need a little bit of time. These small steps create massive change. They show the other person that you care, and this is very important, that you are willing, that even if it's hard, you're not running anymore. And that changes everything for you and for your partner. If you've ever felt abandoned during conflict, I want you to know you are not crazy. You're not needy. You're not asking for too much. Wanting repair, presence, and emotional availability is totally healthy. It's human. Avoidant shutdowns can feel like rejection, but they often fear in disguise. And when you understand that, you can stop blaming yourself. You can stop chasing them. You can start choosing how you respond. So whether you are the one who withdraws or the one who waits in the silence, healing is possible. And also communication is possible. If this topic resonated with you and you've ever felt confused by avoidant behavior, one day warm, the next distant, you'll want to watch my next video. It's called 7 Ways an Avoidant Tests You, and it goes even deeper into the subtle, often misunderstood ways that avoidants try to protect themselves while checking if emotional closeness is safe. I'll see you there.